Okay, this is Bezos once again. Of course, as you know, this is the keyframe tutorial. For you, those that don't know how to use keyframes, if you've looked at my past tutorials, you obviously will see how keyframes work. The reason I'm doing this because some may have downloaded the package and watched these before you watch the other ones. And also so you know what keyframes are actually there for, not for those specific things. They're there for everything and what they're able to do, well, what you're able to do with keyframes. Pretty much keyframes plays one of the biggest roles in Vegas besides the editor. Without keyframes, Vegas would just be another cheap program with a bunch of plugins where you just drag and drop and you have presets that you cannot change because they're default presets. Now, I don't want to go into video effects. I honestly don't want to go into transitions because those are what the other tutorials are for. I just want to explain what keyframes are for. So this right here is panning and cropping with keyframes. This is what you can do with keyframes. You can pan, crop, edit your video effects. You can edit your transitions, edit your text, edit everything. Everything you do in Vegas you can edit with. Pretty much every single thing. Keyframes makes up Vegas. So for those of you who don't know what keyframes are, let me show you. This will be very quick. I just want to explain to you what keyframes are. Keyframes are pretty much everything in Vegas. I'm sorry, I'm waiting for my computer to load. If you don't use your keyframes when you edit, your ending result probably will not be good when it comes down to anything. The effects I'll teach you in other projects and etc. and other tutorials and etc. will definitely, it will most definitely like help you. You're gonna need to know how to use keyframes if you want to be able to do any of the effects I show you, which I will show you a lot in the other tutorial packages. And look out for the biggest pack will be put out new packages hopefully close to every month for different programs. So anyway, here's your text. As you can see, this right here is actually a keyframe. This is set like this from a tutorial that I just made. And what you can do is you can open up your timeline of keyframes so you can add more keyframes. I'm gonna add a bunch of keyframes now. You make it bigger before you add any keyframes, because then it'll throw you off. So I usually add my keyframes like this. Double click. That's how I usually add my keyframes. But not so I don't confuse anyone. I've been doing it like this. So keyframes is set them in certain spots to customize your effects, your text, etc. So all you have to do to add a keyframe is select your spot, create keyframe. If you want to delete a keyframe, select the keyframe, remove, insert, delete. Simple. So I would show you an example, but I don't want to get into that because you'll see it in the others. What you can do is move frame to keyframe. As you can see, previous. Go to your last one. My last one should be here if I was customizing, and your first one. And you can remove them and add them pretty much. And this is not just for text. When you do any effect, you get your keyframes, you'll get a window or where your video event, no matter what it is, you're gonna have your keyframes there with. So that's all you need to know about keyframes, pretty much. That they're there to help you edit with. If you don't use them, your montages, videos, movies, and anything you're making, clips, will not come out that good. So just take your time out to use it and customize your effects so that your effects isn't plain like a bunch of other people's. So your effects are unique the way that you make them. thank you for watching this short tutorial. I hope it helped you understand keyframes and what you need them for. So, just stay tuned. Like I always say, if you're not registered in forums, I hope you are. Also, I'm gonna have the readme in the package. Just make sure you read it, so you know the preferred order you should watch these tutorials in, so it's not confusing. Because some of this stuff is here from earlier tutorials, but this will be one of the first tutorials I recommend you watch. You know how keyframes work before you get into detail with these texts and all this other stuff that I showed you people. Don't forget, this is for beginners, so if you're advanced and this did not help you, don't flame the forum about it, because this is for beginners, but it should help everyone that do not understand it.